Well, welcome to today's broadcast of Indiana High School Athletics Association football on Hamilton County TV, presented by Logan Street Signs and Banners, celebrating over 27 years in business. We also like to thank our other great sponsors, Logan Street Signs and Banners, Noblesville Trophies, Community Health Network, Church Hiddle and Anthem, Hamilton County Radio, the Hamilton County Reporter, and Deep Blue Computers. Well, alongside tonight for this broadcast, doing the play-by-play is good friend, legendary Jerry Baker.
I had nowhere else to go. So I thought I'd just show up and have a little fun tonight.
Well, we're absolutely thrilled to have you here at Hamilton County TV, and you'll be doing the home games here at Noblesville this year, and we're excited. And sometimes it'll be me, and sometimes it'll be someone else doing the color. But I'm always look forward to the first game of the season.
The first game is special to us as broadcasters, to the fans as fans, because right now, and to the teams also, Perry, because everybody's undefeated right now. Everybody's got these high hopes. And here's the one issue that they're all dealing with right now, Perry. They've been beating on each other for the last 2 or 3 weeks. Now, they had a scrimmage a week or so ago where they did see some unfamiliar faces. But right now, they're tired of looking across the line and seeing the guy that's going to be playing on their defensive side or their offensive side for them. So right now, they're thinking, okay, what are we going to do? The coaches right now are a little bit confused. They don't know what they've got, Perry, and that's one of the beauties about the first game of the season. On paper, I talked to both the coaches. They both are very concerned. Let's put it that way.
Absolutely.
And one of the reasons why is because of the youth of the football of both rosters right now. And if you go down and look at the rosters, Noblesville, for instance, has 35 sophomores on their roster and 5 freshmen. I thought, well, that's a lot. Yeah. That's a lot, okay.
Then so look at the Cathedral.
Then I turn the page and go to Cathedral. They have 43 sophomores on their roster. Will they all play? No, that's not the point. But both coaches have said to me, in certain terms, it's a semi-rebuilding situation. Though at Cathedral, they don't rebuild, they reload, is what
Absolutely.
They say. And Noblesville, truly, in talking to the coaching staff, they are rebuilding this year because they lost all those seniors from a year ago.
Yeah, there's 33 seniors they lost, and over half of those, Jerry, were 3-year starters. So it'll be an interesting football game. And the other thing, Jerry, tonight is also, both of these coaches in their second year at their respective schools. So we see
Noblesville has won the toss, it looks like, Perry, and they're going to defer to the second half. So obviously Cathedral's going to get the football. You talk about the coaches. Justin Roden, 4-6 in his second year at the school. Overall, 7 years, a 51-26 record. He was at East Central for 5 years, a 47-20 mark. Won 3 regionals there, a couple of semi-states, and 4A state championship in 2017. And for Cathedral, Bill Peebles, 6-6 in his second year at the school. 15 years overall, an 80-71 mark, 11 years down at Southport, 2 years at Lawrence Central, the second year at Cathedral. The Irish are not familiar with going 6-6.
No, not at all. In fact, this year, last year's team, it was the first year since 2005 they didn't win the sectional.
And 3 of those losses they had last year, they lost to Decatur Central in the sectional championship, 21-14. 3 of their losses came by a touchdown or less. And the state's longest sectional title streak ended at 12 a year ago. So like you just pointed out, Barry, they're used to winning and going past the sectional, past the regional, past the semi-state for that matter. So it's been a difficult situation for the Cathedral fans. Now, last year, these two ball clubs met for the first time. You were here. The final was 31-7 in favor of Cathedral. Were the Noblesville Millers ever in that ball game?
No, well, I mean, they played much better the second half, but they dug themselves a hole. They were playing at Lucas Oil, okay, the first time the kids had played there, so it was a little bit different atmosphere. So it'll be interesting what happens here today. Here we go.
Here's the opening kickoff. It's a high kickoff taken at the 21-yard line and circling left side with a little bit of running room across the 30 and out to about the 33-yard line. Mario McCullough on the kickoff return for the Irish at Cathedral. So we'll get to see their offense. They're set it up now on the 35-yard line. They will bring out Orrin Edwards as their starting quarterback. Edwards last year had a good game against the Noblesville Millers. He was 17 of 22 for 221 yards and a touchdown in that win over Noblesville a year ago.
And he ended up with 2,400 yards last year passing.
So it's 1st and 10 for the 35-yard line. And on the ground, a gain of maybe a couple of yards. And it'll be 2nd down and 8 yards to go.
Looked like number 47, Jacob Ham, on the tackle for the Millers.
So a gain of a couple of yards. The offensive line for the Irish, pretty good sized bunch of guys out there, 268 pounds per man from tackle to tackle. Back to throw, Edwards on 1st down, 2nd down. Pass is caught just shy of the midfield stripe, out to around the 47, 48-yard line, good enough for the 1st down.
And Zach Blevins, the 5'10", 170-pound junior on the tackle.
At 11 yards on the pass completion. So Edwards sets up again. Darian Hall is at the running back spot. Jake Langdon will also see action in the backfield. They'll run out the shotgun. They have 4 wide receivers led by David Perry, number 3. They split the receivers out both sides. Hand off to the backfield, circling near side, down the sideline, across the 30, and finally out of bounds right about the 32-yard line. And a good run that time out of the backfield by Hall.
You know, the one thing Justin Roden told me this week is he can't let them have big gains on runs. They got to contain.
So across the 50 down to the 32. It's about an 18-yard gain that time. Again, out of the shotgun, the inside handoff. No, the fake on the handoff, and the far side pass is caught at the 28-yard line. Inside the 25, down to the 20, inside the 20, and knocked out of bounds at about the 15-yard line.
Koskowski was on the catch for Cathedral.
Got a holding call. It's going to go against Noblesville, so that will be refused, of course. No, they got holding on Cathedral. So the original signal was a hold against the Millers, unless they called it both ways. If it did, that'll negate the run and bring it back to the 32.
Jerry, that was a good fake by Hall, the number 20 over here, to set up that pass on the left side.
Now they have finally straightened it out. He is called. He's holding against the Irish, and they'll move the ball back to the 30-yard line. So that negates a potential 1st down of about 20 yards. And they'll spot it down now, and it'll be a 3rd down and about 8 yards to go for the 1st down. Again, Orrin Edwards at the quarterbacking spot for the Irish. Rolls right side, and it's knocked out of bounds, and he'll be just outside the 20-yard line, about the 22. Gain of about 8 yards on that play.
Cam Nagel run Edwards out of bounds there. He's a 6'1", 155-pound senior. Looks like a player down.
Game just getting underway here at Noblesville High School. At Beaver Materials Field. We've got a new sponsor for the field this year. Noblesville-based Beaver Materials secured the naming rights to the high school football field. We called Beaver Materials Field, formerly the Hare Chevrolet Field from years gone by. Didn't get a number on the injured player, Perry, so we'll hang on to it for a second and try to pick it up. Another
injured player here on the trainer's bench, one of our defensive leaders, Jacob Hams, looks like that ankle. He's been having a ankle, so looks like he's hurt in quite a bit of pain here. Dr. Jacobson is checking out Jacob Ham. That's a big loss for them. Ham was one of the top tacklers for the Millers this past season. Looks like number 40 for the Millers.
'40 is Jacob Huffman, a 6'1", 175-pound sophomore.
41, I'm sorry.
41.
46, I apologize. I thought it said 40. 46.
'43 is Jackson Sloan. And a big hole up the middle over the right side, inside the 20, down to around the 15-yard line. Gain of about 7. Good enough to mark the first down on the far side chain gang. Couple of minutes gone of the opening quarter of this game tonight. Opening game of the season. Noblesville in the dark uniforms. The Fighting Irish in white. And a first down and 10. The ball spotted right about the 15-yard line. Handoff over the right side. Circling right side. Knocked out of bounds. And the runner is Dalen Hall. And Hall is going to be brought down just across the 10, down to around the mark it down officially at the 7-yard line. Second down and 3. And a good strong drive by the Irish to start off tonight's football game. Here on Hamilton County Television.
That's definitely what Coach Peoples wanted to get done tonight, is a good drive.
Edwards on the handoff inside, circling, trying to get into the end zone from the 8-yard line. That's Hall
Touchdown.
Again on the carry, and they got the touchdown.
So the Cathedral Irish get first blood here in the first quarter with 9:44 left on their first drive.
Houston Allerding, the kicker, will come in now and attempt the point after they were players shy, so he had to go to the sideline to get the other 11th man out there. In fact, kind of an important one, the holder, just now getting out on the field.
Yeah, that's an important guy.
Yeah,
game,
Camden
right?
Jordan, just getting out there. Here's the snap. Kick is up, and it is good. So the drive goes 65 yards. And it took them just over 2 minutes, 2 minutes and 15 seconds, 16 seconds to get the job done. And Perry, that's exactly what Cathedral wanted and not what the Noblesville defense was looking forward to.
Absolutely. Well, while we got a second here, why don't we thank one of our sponsors, Gary? Celebrating over 27 years, Logan Street Signs and Banners specialize in that last-minute signage and banners, serving Noblesville and Hamilton County since 1992. You can contact them at 317-773-7200 and check them out on their website, loganstreetsigns.com.
Again, that drive, 9 plays covering 65 yards. And an 8-yard touchdown run by Dalen Hall at 9:44 to go in the opening quarter of tonight's game.
Jerry, I think the interesting thing here is after Cathedral scores on the first drive, I think it'll be kind of interesting to see how this Miller offense comes back here and tries to get something going.
Here is the kickoff, and it's going to go out. Nope, it finally does go out of bounds, so that'll be a penalty. Millers last year were 4-6. They lost to Lafayette Jeff 35-24 in the sectional, their 4th consecutive losing season. They're 12-28 over that period of time. 14th in the last 17 seasons. They've had 3 5-5 seasons. The last winning season for the Millers was back in 2001. They went 7-5, their 6th consecutive winning season. They were number 8 in Class 6A in defensive average last year, so the defense, Perry, held up pretty well. They averaged defensively, giving up 17.3 points per game. But right now, they're more concerned about offense, and they will start at the 35-yard line. Alex Zabak is the quarterback. Elijah Butler will be the fullback. They're going to run the option series, which is something that they installed a year ago.
Jaden Barrett on the carry for the Millers.
When I talked with Justin Roden, the head coach, prior to the game, he said, this is what I used in my other coaching experience, and he said, this is what I want to do. And it takes a while to get this kind of an offense into, and he pointed out, Perry, that everything is timing when you're running an option offense like this, and right now they have got what appears to be the first down of the second play from the line of scrimmage.
And he's got a new quarterback in Alex Zabak, and Alex carried the ball that time for the first down.
What is interesting about Zabak, he told me he had to bring him out of retirement, so to speak. He was on the baseball team. He wasn't even a quarterback the last couple of years.
Yes, he's just come back. He's a senior. So he does have that senior leadership, and he's a very good athlete.
So they get the first down, the first down of the ball game now for Noblesville. First down at 10 from the 46-yard line. 8:38 to go in this opening period of play, and we're going to get a timeout taken by Noblesville. And this is nothing more than a situation, Perry, where they're off kilter already, and that's to be expected, I guess, this early in the season.
Yeah, especially with this new offense, and you have a new quarterback. I mean, like we said, there's 33 players that were seniors last year that are gone. 15 of them, over half of them were 3-year starters. So there's a lot of butterflies here, like we were talking about in the first game of the season. In the middle of this lineup, and the Millers have moved him from tackle to center, is Cam Knight, number 62, and this is his third year to start for the Millers. He's a commit to IU. His brother Brandon Knight played for Noblesville and had a great career at IU.
First down and 10 for the 46-yard line for the Noblesville Millers. Hand off right side.
Boy, nothing there.
Nothing going over there. Knocked down right at the line of scrimmage.
McCullough kind of shot that gap right there, number 2.
Eshawn Jarrett, number 2 of the ball carrier. And it'll be second down, and lost about a half a yard.
McCullough was really blitzing on that. He's a defensive back. He plays pretty deep back there, so he was coming hard and shot that gap there.
Penalty called against Noblesville, which is going to send him back inside the 35, about the 34-yard line. So if they're going the wrong direction, it'll be second down and about 20 plus about 22 yards for the first down. Here's the handoff over right tackle. Noblesville's offensive line, not particularly large, 248 pounds per man from tackle to tackle. Carson Cutler and Alec Reese at the tackles. Hayden Smith, Madison Maris at the guards. Cam Knight at the center position, as we mentioned a couple of minutes ago. It'll be second down now at 18.
Well, the one thing about it, in the articles I've read, Bill Peoples said that, that defense is going to have to carry them here early in the game till the maturity of that offensive line matures a little bit. But they look pretty good that first drive.
Yeah, confusing again. A lot of penalties, as I guess to be expected, Barry, in a first game of the year. No matter how many times you do the reps in preseason, sometimes the kids get excited. They're not on the same page. And when you're running this kind of an option series, timing is everything. Clock now with 7:25 to go in the first quarter of this game. 7-0 football game. The Irish scoring on their first drive, a 65-yard drive, culminated by an 8-yard touchdown run. Here again, the man in motion. and the option play, and circling back in the middle and getting maybe a yard, perhaps two. And they'll mark the ball at the 37-yard line. So a third down and 19. Cathedral defense, they use basically a half a dozen. Well, they've used 5 different linebacker positions. They'll use 3 inside linebackers and 2 on the outside. They're just daring you to throw the football, and this time they're going to throw the football. The pass is caught. Great catch at about the 49-yard line. Well shy, though, of the first down, but at least they got a little bit of breathing room, and a nice throw that time by Alex Zavak. They put it right at the midfield stripe. So it's 4th down and a half a dozen.
Miller sending the punting team out.
Graydon Addison is the punter, number 27 for the Millers. Standing on his own 35-yard line. He'll get it away from about the 40.
Addison, another new player for the Millers. This is his first year to punt. Jack Knight punted for the Millers last year, and he's playing at Ball State this season.
Pretty good punt. It's going to be rolling into the end zone off of the for the touchback. And he'll bring it out to the 20-yard line, and the Irish will get the football for the second time. So, Perry, I'm not sure what the coaching staff gains out of that first drive offensively. There was some confusion out there, but as you pointed out, timing is everything. You're going to run that option series. You have got to be there's no room for any kind of a misstep along the way. You're either going to hand it off or keep it or dive, whatever the situation may be.
You know, and this being the first year that they've ran that. I mean, you know, last year they instituted it, but he didn't go completely with it. Noblesville threw with it a lot. Edwards back to throw, incomplete.
Good coverage that time by Quayon Cannon for the Noblesville Millers. Irish on offense, left tackle Owen Wood. Right tackle is Tex Elliott. Keep an eye on him, number 79 for the Irish. Ryan Beredich and Aaron Cotton are the guards, and the center is Holden Parsons. He'll run a tight end, J.P. Kuchelski. Here's the fake inside, and the ball is kept at the 25 and just knocked down about the 28-yard line of the run, a time by Alex Zavak. All spotted down at the 28, just shy of the 29-yard line.
Adam Richardson was on the tackle for the Millers.
They're down at a couple now. We'll see if the defense can hold up now for the Millers. They will use 4 wide receivers. Noblesville does. Cathedral goes with likewise 4 wide receivers. And this time they've got it one set far to the upper side of the screen, and likewise they're having difficulty getting underway.
Well, you know, Jerry, that was another timing play, and you know, they just didn't time it right. But you see that they're going to that right side with, you know, Tex Elliott, a big D run recruit, and with Mr. Cotton over there on the same side of the ball on that right side. Cotton 6'2", 255, and Tex Elliott 6'5", 280. So.
Yeah, this offensive line averaging 268 per man from tackle to tackle. Good sized offensive line that marks them back 5 yards. Make it third down, and intercepted across the midfield stripe at the 47-yard line.
The interception for the Millers.
That looks like Zane Blevins. Blevins coming up the interception.
Big interception right there, Jerry. Now let's see what that Miller offense can do.
It'll be the second possession now for the Millers. They started the first drive at the 35. Had to punt it away after 6 attempts. And it'll be first down attempt for their own 48. So once again, Zabak brings the ball club out. Elijah Butler is listed as the fullback. He'll do most of the blocking. Rarely will get the football. They'll run the offense off of Barrett, Blevins, Montarsi, and Williams. Williams at the tight end spot. And back to throw is Zabak, and he's got nowhere to go.
I think he's a little short of getting back up to the line of scrimmage there, but
see where they finally mark it down. Pretty much back to the line of scrimmage. In fact, they may mark it down a loss of a couple of yards. It's at the 48. They'll move it back to the 47-yard line. Loss of a couple.
David Gould was on the tackle for the Cathedral Irish over there.
Carson Sanders split clear out to the left side at the very bottom of your screen.
I don't know whether we got an equipment malfunction over there with the side marker or what. There's a official timeout. It looks like they're working on. I don't know whether the runner hit the marker over there or what, but they're almost ready to go here.
Got it all straightened away.
We're good to go.
So it's second down now at 11 at the 47-yard line. And again, the man in motion. Here's the quick handoff inside, and there's just nowhere to go. The Cathedral defense goes with 3 down linemen. We mentioned David Gull, Sean Oldham, and Tom Wood. And they'll use 5 different linebackers: Quentin Canyon, Will Goheen, Hudson Miller, Johnny Parker, and Danny Brady. One of those guys, Hudson Miller, was a sophomore, by the way. It's one of the rare sophomores starting for this Irish ball club. So they're pretty much back to the line of scrimmage, which makes it the 47-yard line again, and a third down and 11.
Goheen was on the tackle for the Irish.
Split to the left side, slot down to the left side. Zabak to throw. Fires and almost picked off.
Absolutely.
And about the 25-yard line. So we're looking at a fourth down situation again. Three minutes, 7 seconds to go here in the opening quarter of play. Start of the football season. Games all around the state tonight. And how lucky are we, Perry, with the weather? Generally, at this time of the year, the first 2 or 3 games, you are sweltering out there.
Yeah, we've been very, very fortunate here tonight.
Temperatures in the 90s, and humidity is high. But tonight it is absolutely perfect. A little wind coming from left to right as you check us out here tonight. The penalty is going to be against Noblesville, and it's a big one.
Wow, 15 yards.
That'll take it all the way back to the 33-yard line. I didn't catch the signal.
I didn't either. I didn't see one.
Well, they move it
pass
back
interference. Offensive pass interference.
Now the officials are going to huddle. Todd Maiden is the whitehead tonight, the gentleman in charge. So it'll be third down, and according to the scoreboard, some 26 yards, but it's got to be more than that. With the ball back at the 32-yard line. They got to get it across midfield down to the 42-yard line.
Draw there.
And all you're trying to do there is get a little bit of breathing room. On a third down. That means Graydon Addison's going to have to go back out one more time and punt it away.
Goheen again on the tackle for the Irish. Jerry, a pretty good crowd on both sides of the field here and down in the end zone. So
a late arriving crowd from Cathedral, because I thought about 5 minutes before kickoff, Perry, there was nobody over there, and now the stands are about, I'd say, 60% full. 2:25 to go in the opening quarter. Here is the kick, and it's a good one.
Yeah,
it's over the head of the defender's receiver, and he is brought down to the 20-yard line. And the ball may have gotten free momentarily. But good coverage on a beautiful punt. They'll spot it down at the 21.
Cathedral takes over possession with 2 minutes and 12 seconds remaining in tonight's first quarter. First and 10 from their own 21-yard line.
So first and 10 from the 29 here.
It did get away, Perry. There was no signal. No, apparently not. Now they've got it straightened away again. Little hustle getting back out onto the field.
I wasn't sure what they were doing there.
There was no real clear signal, but the ball does go back over to the Cathedral Irish,
nice
and they get it at
pass.
the 21-yard line. And on the first play, a pass on the line of scrimmage. We got it out across the 40, down to the 42-yard line, a gain of 21 yards.
That was Camden Jordan on the catch for Cathedral on that. Nice pass. Replay there. Thank you, Will. Will's getting pretty good on these replays here, Jerry.
We're getting better as the games go along,
That's right.
too.
Yeah. Oh.
Ball carry over the right side across the midfield stripe down to the 49-yard line. That should be good enough for yet another first down as they, depending on the mark, and they will put it down at the 49.
Hayden on the run and Cody Lynch on the tackle for the Millers.
So it's just shy of the first down. It'll be second down and about the length of a football to go for the first down with the clock winding down. Minute 20 to go in this opening period of play. Irish lead it 7-0 as they scored on the first possession. This is the third time they've had the football. And again, they just kind of run a battering ram over the right side, get it down to the 40-yard line. That's good enough for the first down.
And like we said a few minutes ago, right over Cotton and Tex Elliott. So on that right side of the line.
Gain of 7. First down. And 10. Inside a minute to go in the opening period. Out of the shotgun again. This is Orrin Edwards at the quarterbacking spot. A pass on the flat on the far side. He is caught and just barely caught. I mean, that was a close call over there as they went to Seth Mincer.
Yeah, Carson Sanders, number 9, about picked that ball off, but it went for a big gain here. So
yet another first down, and the officials have yet to put the ball down, and it's going to be marked down inside the 30 at about the 28-yard line. That's a gain of 12.
Got about 30 seconds left here in the first quarter.
May get one, possibly 2 plays. Open man is
open.
caught and into the end zone, and good from 28 yards out. Couldn't catch a receiver on that play. All right, let's see if we can get it here.
3.
That's David Perry.
PAT here. Cathedral up 13-0. We're still in the first quarter.
And the point after. No good.
Well, Jerry, let's thank another one of our sponsors while we're setting up for the kickoff here. Noblesville Trophies offers a large range of products, including sports trophies, corporate award, and in-house embroidery. Noblesville Trophies provides you with that same-day service for those last-minute decisions. Contact them at 317-773-7391 or check them out online, noblesvilletrophies.com.
5 plays, 79 yards, and a 28-yard touchdown reception. By David Perry. Point after is no good. So with 21.6 to go in the opening quarter of this football game, it's The Irish 13-0.
Ball by the Owen Edwards to David Perry, 28-yard touchdown pass.
Well, right now, of course, they have a great quarterback in Edwards, but right now this offense of Cathedral looks pretty good. But of course, they have tremendous size up front. Even though they lack experience on that offensive line, they're big.
Jaden Barrett is their key receiver on the kickoff teams. And here is the kickoff. It'll be heading toward Barrett at about the 15-yard line.
Got a little room there.
And
Penalties.
Another penalty marker down. We've seen a lot of flags in this football game here in the first quarter with 14.9 to go. We'll have to check and see who this is on. Once again, Todd Maiden. Okay, the white hat tonight. He's the referee. It'll be a holding call. It's going to go against Noblesville.
The penalties have definitely affected the Millers tonight. They just, even if they do get a good run, they get in trouble on penalties. We got 14.9 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. Cathedral up 13-0.
This should set them back to about the 20-yard line, Perry. And in fact, that's exactly where they'll start. Third possession of the football game. They started the first drive on the 35, the second drive on the 48, and this time on the 20-yard line with 14.9 seconds to go in the opening quarter of this football game. Alex Zabak, number 12, is the quarterback. Elijah Butler, the running back, and they have a preponderance of receivers. Here's the pitch on the near side, trying to find a running room, and there's just nowhere to go. And the runner brought down right at the line of scrimmage. One of the guys in there is number 5, Hudson Miller. And that'll take us to the end of the first quarter. So after one, it's a 13-0 football game in favor of the Cathedral Irish over the Millers of Noblesville High.
Community Health Network is Central Indiana's leader in providing health care services where and when patients need them. With any questions, you can contact Community Health at 317-355-7775 or check them out on their website, ecommunity.com.
First quarter, a couple of drives. The first drive for the Irish, 9 plays covering 65 yards. Dalen Hall on an 8-yard run at the 9:44 mark made it 7-0. Second possession went nowhere for the Irish. Third possession, an 79-yard effort out of 5 plays. Perry with a 28-yard pass reception.
Well, both teams are still huddled up here, getting ready to go on this second quarter. Beautiful night, like you said earlier, Jerry. We got great weather here and a good crowd, and first game of the season. All things are good.
Irish last year, as we mentioned, 6-6, lost to Decatur Central in the sectional round of the tournament. They were 10th in Class 5A in average win margin last year. Average scoring margin. 6 points per game. Orrin Edwards was their key guy. Passed for 2,387 yards and 23 touchdowns. He has an offer, by the way, from Howard University. Singling near side and being knocked down behind the line of scrimmage. And a good, strong effort that time by the Irish. Number 32, Demetrio Constantino on the tackle. So it's third down. And back at the 19-yard line. So Perry, they're going to the wrong direction right now.
Absolutely.
Zabak in the first quarter, 3 of 10 for a net total of 9 yards. Rushing, passing, Zabak 2 out of 2 for 14. And right now it's third down and 11 with the ball on the 19-yard line. And the pass incomplete, in now to the hands of Holden Matarsi. So they'll have to punt it away for the third successive time. In that first quarter, Orion Edwards 5 of 7 for 94 yards and a touchdown, a long of 28. David Perry 2 catches for 40 yards and a touchdown. And right now, I'm sure that Justin Roden, head coach at Noblesville, is a little concerned about this offense. I know he was concerned about when I chatted with him prior to the game, but he's not going to be happy with what's transpired. Here is the punt, and it's a good one. Once again, over the head of the deep man for the Irish, and it rolls inside the 15. What a punt that time! They had a man back, Camden Jordan. That's at least twice, Barry, if not 3 times, all 3 times, that Addison has punted the ball away, that he has knocked it over the head of the deep man.
Absolutely. I mean, right now, that's the best part of the Noblesville game.
It is.
I hate to say that, but it is true.
Well, the punting game will win you some football games.
That's true. That's true. To keep them deep.
He has really punted the ball well. Graydon Addison, number 27 for the Noblesville Millers. He's a 5'11", 180-pound junior. That really got him out of a precarious situation here, because you figure, Perry, they're going to have the football, they being Cathedral, at about the 40-yard line. And now they've got it instead back at the 13. Fourth time now that
Edwards back to throw.
Cathedral's had the football.
The catch. Uh-oh. Wow. He's gone to the races.
This thing is going to the house.
Man alive. Number 4 for...
That's Camden Jordan.
Wow.
Has an 87-yard touchdown pass.
You just cannot give up that big play there. Miller's got him deep. Jerry, back at the 13-yard line on a good punt. And then that happens. An Edwards to Hall pass. I'm sorry, Edwards to Jordan pass.
Now the point after by Allarding. And this time it is good.
So 19-0 with 10:48 left to go here in the second quarter. Church Hill and Antrim, attorneys at law. Since their establishment, Church Hill and Antrim in 1880, our neighbors, our community leaders, our businesses, and school districts has placed their trust in us to solve their most challenging legal issues. We have a rich history of helping our clients when they need it the most. Give us a call at 317-773-2190. Well, Jerry, the Millers have really dug them a big hole here with an outstanding punt by the Millers to have them on the 13-yard line, and then a touchdown pass from Edwards to Jordan.
When I talked to Justin Roden, the head coach of Noblesville, I said one of the things you want to do is extend the game, meaning keep his ball club on the field, make the clock work against the opposition. That's not what's happened so far, and I'm sure that Justin's very frustrated with this whole thing. And one of the things he's concerned about, and he talked very freely with me, here's the kickoff. And they're just going to fair catch it at the 22-yard line. One of the things, Perry, he talked to me about was the fact that when you're trying to teach a ball club this option series, it is difficult, especially with younger people. If you've got a group of seniors out there, or even juniors and seniors, maybe they're going to grasp it a little quicker. But this ball club is so young, and he's very honest about it. He says, man, we're going to take our lumps for a while. I hope the fans will stay with us in this kind of a situation. And right now, he's been proven to be exactly on target.
I think, I felt his concern. The real concern also, too, I know is in the back of his mind you know, you play it one game at a time, but the Carmel Greyhounds are coming up next week too. So,
well, as he pointed out, he was very honest. Well, let's go down the line. You got Cathedral tonight; they're ranked. You got Carmel next week at Carmel. Then you get Fishers. Then you get your crosstown buddies Westfield coming in here, and they're ranked. And then you got Zionsville and Franklin Central, HSC, Brownsburg, and Avon to complete the season. There are no walkthroughs there anywhere in that.
No. You know, that's the one great thing about it is it's a good thing and it's a curse, but, you know, there's good football in Central Indiana.
Well, there are just no free games anymore. There was a time, let's say 10 years ago, when you could look at your schedule and say, okay, that's a W and that's a W, because the conferences have caught up with each other. It was all the MIC. That's not true anymore.
No.
And there's another penalty flag against Noblesville.
Those are things that really frustrate a coach. I mean, it just...
It's going to be a delay of game. Fans getting a little restless on our side of the field. So let's see where they officially put it down. It'll be 5 yards. It'll be back at about the 20-yard line. They started at the 23. They were up to the 25, so the 5-yard penalty sets them back to the 20.
Wow.
And there's nowhere to go. They get knocked down inside the 20, about the 17 or 18-yard line. One of the big bodies, Jaden Scruggs, coming in to make that tackle that time for the Irish. So they mark it down with the 18. Loss of 7. Actually, a loss of about 5. Yeah, about 3 on the play with that penalty that happened. 9:22 to go in the first half of tonight's game. Weather is perfect. Fans are here in abundance tonight, and the Noblesville crowd not getting much to cheer for. Rolling near side and throwing the ball back over the sideline, and it'll be 4th down.
You know, this is exactly, you know, as we talked earlier, this is exactly what Coach Roden didn't want to happen.
No.
He did not want to throw the football.
Well, they're in a position where they don't have much choice right now.
No. I mean, there's no options.
No. So here comes Addison. He's been the highlight of the game for the Millers. Well, he has punted the ball well. This time it looks like the receiver is setting up a little deeper this time. Yeah. Mario McCullough.
Wow, that's another boomer.
And another one over his head again.
Man.
I'm not sure what the angle will put it, but what a good kick again that time by Addison. Let's see where the official comes up the near sideline and spots it at the 25-yard line.
Wow. Another good punt.
They may have found something there. So for the 4th consecutive possession, Noblesville has to punt the football. The first time they had it, ran 6 plays, punted it. Second time they ran 3 plays. Third time, 3 plays. This time, 3 plays and punt the football. Not going to score a lot of points when you punt the football every time.
No.
So it's 1st down and 10 now for the Irish at their own 25-yard line. The last time they hit the football, they went 87 yards in one play on a Jordan reception and a beautiful pass from Oren Edwards.
Another pull wide open. Nice catch. Still on his feet.
Caught at about the 45.
David Perry on the catch for the Irish. For another Irish first down.
Spot the ball at the 44. It's a 19-yard gain. And with 8:39 to go in this first half of play, it's been all Irish tonight in this game. We talked about Edwards last year, passed for over 2,000 yards, 2387. You think a kid like that with those kind of numbers would have more offers than that, but he has one offer so far in the bag from Howard University. This time they'll head it off to the tailback, and he'll go about the 47 or 48-yard line, a gain of 3 or 4 yards on the ground. And it'll be a second down. And about 6 to go for the first down.
Tolliver on the tackle for the Millers there, and a host of other Noblesville players in on that tackle.
One of the reasons they're so good on the ground, Tex Elliott is sitting on that right side of the offensive line, number 79. This young man is something else, boy. He has a scholarship offers from Air Force, Army, Central Michigan, and Navy. And they will get the first down, I believe.
Tolliver on the tackle for the Millers. It's another Irish first down.
And they will spot it across midfield now at the 45-yard line.
Clock's running, 7:34 left to go here in the second quarter.
One of the early comments from Bill Peebles, the head coach of the Irish, was our schedule is more brutal than normal.
Yeah.
It is brutal.
Yeah, he plays 3 teams from Ohio.
Yeah, and that's one of the problems they have. Here's a handoff at the right side of Dalen Hall.
Oh, wide open.
And Hall is going to go all the way in from 45 yards out.
Jerry, there again, that right side of that Cathedral line. It's just the big holes there to run right through. So that makes it 26-0. Here's a replay. That hole right there, 73 leading the block there through that gaping hole for Hall for the touchdown.
So we'll try the extra point.
It's like an injured Miller player, but he's getting off on his own. So Blaine McNabb, 6 foot, 160-pound junior.
So the kickers and the punters have had a busy night tonight. Here is the point after down by Ullerding. And it is good.
That was a tough PAT there, Jerry. That snap was a little high. Let's thank another one of our sponsors, Logan Street Signs. Celebrating over 27 years, Logan Street Signs and Banners specializes in that last-minute signage of banners, serving Noblesville and Hamilton County since 1992. You can contact them on 317-773-7200.
So the Irish have had the football 5 times now, and they have scored on 4 of the 5 possessions. The only other time they didn't was on a pass interception on a good defensive play by the Millers. So Noblesville gets the football again. They were not ranked in any of the preseason polls, the Associated Press or the football coaches. Cathedral was ranked number 5 by the Associated Press in Class 5A. Football coaches had them ranked number 2. Well, the issue now that the coaching staff for Noblesville has, to be honest, Perry, is they got to keep their daubers up. They can't let it get away from them, as they are down now 27-0, with the clock showing 7:06 to go here in the first half of play. And the kickoff taken to the 25. And out to around the 20, about the 32-yard line. The gain of about 7 on that kickoff return. We'll wait till they officially spot it down.
That was Camden Nagel on the catch for the Millers. Lining up a halftime guest, we're going to have Beth Niedermeyer, the superintendent of schools here in Noblesville, at halftime. So Noblesville Schools is 150 years old this year.
Hard to believe, isn't it?
Yeah. it
Well,
is.
I wasn't here.
No, I wasn't here.
There's still people who believe I was around when they had the leather helmets.
Well, our friend Rick, he always tells you about the band you introduced at the Coliseum.
The Beatles. Oh yeah. Well, there's just nowhere to go.
No.
I mean, that defensive line that Cathedral is throwing up there right now was just impenetrable at this particular point in time. As I mentioned, they have one sophomore on that line, and 4 seniors. The rest are juniors in that unit. And they're just what they're doing is daring you to come at them, and they're using 3 down linemen. David Gull, 6'1", 235. Sean Oldham at 6'1", 320. And the defensive end, Tom Wood, a 6-footer at 195. They're just stacked up there. Then they use, as I mentioned, 5 linebackers who come right up and just fill whatever holes are there. And here's they're trying to skirt the outside. There's just absolutely nowhere to go. Mario McCullough, one of the guys coming in on the defensive stop that time. And what they're doing, Perry, if they're not making the tackle, they are creating a situation where the runner, they don't get credit for a tackle. He has nowhere to go. Yeah.
Butler was on the carry there for the Millers.
So it's a 3rd down and about 5 yards to go for the first down. And there's just been nowhere to run the football, and you're forcing your situation into a situation where you're going to have to throw the football. So here is Zavak rolling left side, and he just has to peel it and eat it back to the 31 or 32-yard line. So they're back to pretty much the original line of scrimmage, which was the 33.
And, of course, Sean Oldham at 320 pounds was right in there to get that tackle, so he just blew away the Noblesville center, Cam Knight.
So once again, here comes the top weapon for Noblesville. Addison standing back on his 20-yard line. He'll get the punt away from about the 25. And this time
he
the receiver
back further and further.
is standing back on the 10-yard line. And this time the punt drops in front of him. And he will let it go, and it continues to roll in favor of the Millers down inside the 15-yard line, down almost to the 10, down to the 11-yard line. Good punt.
Well, definitely the numbers will be on the side of Addison tonight. Graydon Addison, the punter.
Clock winding down with 4 minutes and 42 seconds of playing time remaining in the first half of our game tonight here on Hamilton County TV. Glad to have you along tonight. Despite the fact that we've got ourselves pretty much a one-sided football game at 27-0 in favor of the Irish. Last year, these two ball clubs met for the first time, and it was down at Lucas Oil Stadium, 31-7 the final, with Cathedral winning that game. And they are out in front now by a commanding 27-0 margin. And they'll start this drive back on the 12-yard line.
Give to Hall right over that right side.
Look out. Finally dragged down, but not before a sizable game.
Here we go. Let's look at this again right here. There's Hall cutting out on that right side there. Picks up some blockers and gets in that secondary and gets another big run.
Going to wipe it out, though, Perry. A holding call against the Irish.
Man.
You made a comment earlier, and I couldn't agree more. This drives coaches nuts. They will accept a lot of mistakes if they're committed with some destination in mind. But if the errors when you're calling penalties like this, that's a stationary type offense, and it's just no good.
Yeah, it's unacceptable. And I bet both coaches will say that at halftime.
Oh, man. So it'll be set back to the 17, first down at 17, second down at 17. And the penalty, the fumble, let's see, is it intercepted?
Did he catch it?
The officials have not made a call yet. They've come in for the sideline. Now, one of the trail officials, Todd Maiden, says it's incomplete. Now they're going to get together. Now they call it an interception.
Oh, yeah, he took 2 or 3 steps there. Yeah, he took a couple steps, Jerry, on that.
So it's the second interception by the Millers.
Carson Sanders fell on the football there. And
so they'll make it at the 23-yard line. Good field position now.
let's see if they can do something with it.
.4:27 to go in the first half of tonight's game. Like the man in motion. And try to run over that right side behind Maris and Reese. Cameron Knight, the center.
Butler on the run for the Millers.
And they'll spot it down at the 23-yard line. That's pretty much where it was.
Yeah, there wasn't no gain there.
So it's second down and 10 with the clock running at just inside 4 minutes to go now in the first half of tonight's game. Zavac has not been able to get anything going out of this option series. Trying to find a hole is just almost impossible. Swings light side, flips it out on the left side to Jaden Barrett, and Barrett's going to be buried behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of a couple of yards.
Cannon was in there on that ball very, very quickly, along with number 10, Utzinger.
A loss of 3 will make it second down, make it third down and 13 from the 26-yard line.
Great pursuit by the Cathedral.
No, they're just all over you, Perry. There's just nowhere to go. Now you're forced into a Zavac passing situation, which they don't want. But they got it, whether they like it or not right now.
Oh, no.
Zavac with nowhere to go is going to be brought down behind the line of scrimmage again for another loss. This will be outside the 30 at about the... Well, they may spot it down right at the 30-yard line. So
Hudson Miller just shot that gap. Penalty, though.
another one.
Officials are huddled up talking about this penalty here.
Well, they spend more time together tonight than they do with their families.
We even got 2 flags out there, so one on each side of the ball.
2:57 to go in the first half. Still nothing coming from the guys in the striped shirts. Here again, it's their first game likewise, so it's a kind of a process for them to get back into the groove.
Yeah, because they're working with a new group too. I mean,
it's going to be a holding call against Noblesville, and I would be surprised if they take this penalty.
Personal foul against.
Oh, personal foul against Cathedral.
So that offsets the penalty. Right?
Yeah.
Well,
so
I'm not sure. Personal foul is a bigger deal, so.
Well, the 15 yards will move the ball.
Wow.
Where did he go, Perry? Inside the 5?
Yes, it's on the 5.
No, it's at the 5-yard line.
Yeah.
So they've got it first down and goal to go from the 5-yard line.
Now they're still talking.
Well, the ball was on the 26.
I don't quite get that, Jerry.
I'm not sure that the numbers add up here. Now they're going to
back it up. Now it's on the 8-yard line. 2:52 left to go here before the half. Give outside. He's got room. He's got room. I don't think it.
Yeah, they called a touchdown.
Penalty flag there. Hold up here, folks. Another referee huddle.
It looks like it's going to be holding
against the Millers.
Against the Millers again.
Can we see that again, Will? Is that possible? See if we can see the hold.
Hold against.
Let's see if we can see the hold here. It has to be on 42, I think. I think we held 42.
So Zavac will bring the ball back out to bring the team back out to the 19-yard line. And it'll be first down and goal from there. Letting group on the near side and inside the 10 to about the 9-yard line. The clock will continue to wind. On the run that time, Jaden Barrett.
Timeout called by Cathedral.
So the Irish won a timeout, second down and 9. Just under 2.5 minutes to go here in the second quarter of this ball game. 27-0 the Irish right now.
How about thanking another sponsor here? Noblesville Trophies offers a large range of products, including sports trophies, corporate awards, and in-house embroidery. Noblesville Trophies provides you with that same-day service for those last-minute decisions. Contact them at 317-773-7391 or check them out on their website, noblesvilletrophies.com.
Ball is spotted just inside the 10-yard line. It'll be second down and goal with 2:27 to go in the first half. Zavac at quarterback. They've got 22, Elijah Butler. Sedbus at the fullbacking position. Rolling out near side, trying to find an open man. Cannot get the job done. It's knocked down at the 5-yard line. The clock will stop at 2:19 to go in the half.
Third down now.
Sixth play of the drive, which began at the 23-yard line on the pass interception. Pass interception. So we're third down and goal.
Got a full house backfield there, Jerry.
Jaden Barrett set up at one of the back spots. Barrett gets the handoff over the right side. Going to be knocked out about the 1-yard line. Did he get in?
I don't think so.
Barrett down inside the 1. Ball, he's just literally right on the goal line. And the clock continues to run down to 2 minutes. And a fourth down and goal.
Let's see if they can do it here.
Crowd trying to get into this football game and trying to get the Millers with something to think about as they go to the locker room at halftime.
Another full house backfield. Touchdown.
Yep, there's the signal. They got him. That may have been Barrett again.
Here's the play, Jerry.
Still couldn't pick up the number.
22.
22 is Elijah Butler, I should say. So Butler gets the touchdown run from 1 yard out.
He just kind of rode on the backside of that tackle and then cut outside and got in the end zone. Nice run by Butler. PAT.
Up and good.
Well, I know the Millers are down 27-7, but that's a big score right there, Jerry.
If nothing else, it gives the coaching staff something to talk about positively at halftime.
Absolutely. I see Jacob Ham on the sidelines here with the shoulder pads off and a boot on his foot. So the leading tackler for the Millers will not be back tonight.
Basically, a six-play drive covering some 23 yards after the pass interception. And a 1-yard run by Elijah Butler, the fullback, with 1:36 to go in the first half of tonight's game. Butler is a transfer from Toledo.
A real good addition for the Millers this season.
You betcha. This Miller team lost its starting quarterback, the top two rushers, which total 777 yards, and 3 of their top 4 receivers from a year ago, which accounted for 335 yards. So there's 1,000 yards of offense that is gone. And the coaching staff says it's a young team that is going to go through some growing pains. They are doing that tonight. And the schedule, as we talked about a few moments ago, Perry, is just a bear.
Absolutely.
So you take what you can get. And this time they got a bonus by getting a pick in good field position. They had to hustle to get it into the end zone, but they got the job done with 1:36 to play in the first half of this game. Kickoff taken at the 18-yard line. And circling far right side is Shiloh Means. And Means continues to run and gets it across the 35. And somewhere around the 40-yard line, he'll set up shop again, and the Irish go back to work.
I think right now Coach Roden knows that this series right here, that his defense has got to stop Cathedral. He cannot let them score with 1:24 left to go here in the half.
Well, they mark it down at the 38-yard line. 7th time that Cathedral has had the football. Throwing is Edwards. And the pass is caught right at the first down marker, which is just shy of the midfield stripe. They'll mark it down to the 48th. It's going to be a 10-yard pass. Good enough for the first down.
Good job by the receiver out there to know where that first down. Timeout, Noblesville.
And this goes along with what you just said, Perry. The coaching staff for Noblesville knows how important this stop would be this time. Not necessarily from the score on the scoreboard, but from the middle of the middle approach of the second half of this football game. So it has been all Irish so far in this football game, with the exception of that last turnover when they had the ball picked off. And Noblesville managed to get it into the end zone to cut the lead to 27-7. The 1:16 to go now in the first half. We mentioned lots of games going on tonight. The number 1 team in 6A, the Carmel Greyhounds, will get a test tonight. They're on the road down in Louisville,
playing the state champions of Kentucky and Trinity.
Always a good matchup.
Oh, yeah, always a great football game. Always a great football
They
game.
love their football in Kentucky. They talk a lot about their basketball prowess, but they've got some pretty good high school football teams down there.
And that's such a stellar football program down there.
We talked about the difficulty of the Irish program, and one of the reasons why they have to go out of state is they're not in the conference, so there's nobody set up that automatically they have to play against.
Edwards back to throw. Nice pass. Knocked out of bounds there.
Caught by Camden Jordan. Stays in bounds and will be shy of the first down. It'll be across midfield at the 40, just across the 45-yard line.
McNabb on the hard hit there, the junior, 6-foot junior, 160 pounds.
And a penalty against the Irish. That looked like a block in the back call from the referee, Todd Maiden.
Here's a little surprise. Fisher's 26, North Central nothing in the fourth quarter.
Wow.
I did not expect that.
No, a lot of folks think North Central got that program turned around, and I think they probably have, but that's not an indicator.
No. Southeastern 17, Lawrence Central 7 in the second quarter. Edwards back to throw. Almost intercepted there.
So the penalty moved it back to the 33-yard line. And the clock will stop at 49.8 to go in the half. And a first down and 25. It'll be second down and 25.
Another penalty. Illegal procedure.
To be called against Cathedral.
At half, Southport 14, Roncalli 3. I thought that'd be a pretty good football game anyways, didn't you?
Sure, absolutely. Pretty good matchup there.
But the Fishers North Central game really surprises me.
Right now they have marked the ball. Now we're back to the 28-yard line. Going the wrong direction. It'll be second down. And roughly 30 yards to go for the first down. And straight up the middle. Had a good block. This is Hall. And Hall may go all the way.
He does.
He is gone. Ball is on the 28-yard line to start that thing.
Another big play.
72 yards.
No flags anywhere. You know, Coach Rode and I talked a couple times this week. He said, Perry, we cannot give up the big play. Cannot give up the big play. 33-7 here.
72-yard run. And Allarding in for the point after.
It's good.
So 34-7.
29.5 seconds left to go here in the half, and that was a big play given up by the Millers there. They got a few breaks, got an interception, and got the ball on about the 28-yard line and punched it in there, and then gave up that big play to make it 34-7.
So the Millers huddle up. They will get the football for the seventh time in the game. They've already had to punt the football away 5 different times. The last time they managed to get the interception, which gave them great field position from the 23-yard line, and they managed in a half of those plays to punch it in from 1 yard out.
For you football junkies, if you tune in to HCTV 1 and check out the game day, we got, of course, the Cathedral Noblesville game on there, North Central Fishers, Southport Roncalli, and Lawrence Central and Hamilton Southeastern. And then there's many more games left on the Indiana High School Athletic Association network.
Taken at the 27 and returned out to across the 35 to about the 37, about a 10-yard return that time. And Noblesville will have the football for the final series, we assume, in the first half of this game, which has 22.8 to play.
I don't see the Millers doing anything. I don't think Justin wants to
just take the knee and get out. Yeah, I agree. There's too many bad things that can happen. Been a tough first half for Noblesville.
Once again, that full house backfield.
And again, we reiterate they've installed the option series, and it's all based on timing. And this time it's just straight up the middle, then a handoff in the backfield to Butler. he gets back perhaps to the line of scrimmage, and that's been pretty much it. And the clock continues to wind down inside 10 seconds to go now.
Run out here.
So we'll have a special guest at halftime coming up. They do give him 1 yard on that play, give him 2 yards, as a matter of fact, and that's the end of the first half. So to kind of recap the situation, it was all Cathedral in the first half with the first possession of the game. They go some 9 plays, cover some 65 yards. Dalen Hall in from 8 yards out. On the second possession, Cathedral had the pass intercepted. One of the highlights defensively for the Noblesville Millers. The next 3 times Cathedral had the football, they scored. They went 79 yards in 5 plays. David Perry with a 28-yard reception. Next series was a real killer. An 87-yard pass reception by Camden Jordan. He took it in on the first play of that particular drive. That made it 20-0. Next possession, some 3 plays, 75 yards. Hall in from 45 yards out with 7:06 to go in the second quarter. That made it a 27-0 football game. The next possession was the highlight of the game for Noblesville as the pass was intercepted. And at that particular point in time, it looked like Noblesville was never going to get it into the end zone. They finally did after a half a dozen tries. Butler taking it in, Elijah Butler from 1 yard out at the 1:36 mark to go in the first half. That made it 27-7. And then the backbreaker here with 29.5 seconds to go in the first half. Hall, a 72-yard run. And the drive, 2 plays from 62 yards total. And they made it where we stand right now at 34-7. So we're at halftime here on Hamilton County Television, our game of the week. Cathedral Irish and the Noblesville Millers. And at halftime, it's Cathedral 34 and Noblesville 7.
We'll be right back.
When medical care is needed, where will you turn? With Community's Connect to Care program, one call or click finds you the closest open appointment. Request a time yourself or let us do it. From a primary care doctor or virtual visit to a med check or community clinic at Walgreens. Just call or click. You can go right to our website or to me. Connect to Care from Community.
Superheroes come in all shapes and sizes. They don't always meet in an underground fortress. Sometimes they meet in places that appear to be very ordinary to most people. But inside, there are heroes in training. Some are smart, strong, or brave. Maybe they can build cities or heal people when they get hurt. But even superheroes need some help sometimes. With your support, we can change the world. Together, we are a force that can't be defeated. Support the club. Save the world. Support your local superheroes and donate now to the Boys and Girls Club of Noblesville at bgcni.org.
Hey Deb, why do they call us Logan Street Signs and Banners?
Because we started off at Logan Street.
But we're on South 10th Street.
We moved 22 years ago.
Why didn't we change the name?
That would have just confused everybody and they wouldn't be able to find us.
Now I'm really confused.
Bill, we're Logan Street Signs and Banners, conveniently not located on Logan Street, but on South 10th Street in Noblesville. Can I help you?
Yeah. I'm looking for Logan Street Signs and Banners.
You found us.
But this ain't Logan Street.
We moved 22 years ago.
You're telling me that Logan Street Signs and Banners isn't on Logan Street anymore?
Exactly.
So what are you saying?
Logan Street Signs and Banners, conveniently not located on Logan Street, but on South 10th Street in Noblesville, Indiana.
Can I help you?
Yeah, I'd like to order a hamburger, fries, salt, maybe a large vanilla shake.
This is a trophy shop, can't you tell?
You got carry out?
Everything that you need, we have here at the shop. Very unique. You order today, carry out tonight. That's our version of carry out.
All right, I'll take one of everything.
Well, that may take a little longer. We'll have it for you tomorrow night.
I'll be back tomorrow to pick it up.
We'll be waiting for you.
Well, welcome back, and here at Beaver Material Field, the score here at the half is Cathedral 34, Noblesville 7. As a guest here this evening, I got the superintendent of Noblesville Schools, Dr. Beth Niedermeyer. Welcome, Beth.
Thanks. It's good to be here.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. But the band is out here on the field and getting ready to play. But let's talk about this band because it's been the 6 years you've been here. This band has made huge strides. The band members are getting more and more every year. And when you do that big show in the gymnasium at basketball time and you line up all those middle schools and elementary schools and all that stuff, it's unbelievable.
It is. They've really done a great job, and it's nice that they're moving up to another level this year, and so they're really excited to see how they're going to compete at this higher level. So we're real proud of them, and we're looking forward to a great marching band season.
Yeah, sometimes, I as an older person, I realize that, a lot of things have changed in school and everything, but over the 150 years at Noblesville Schools, we'll talk about that in a minute, but one of the big things is our performing arts program at Noblesville is growing on leaps and bounds.
Yes, we've got such a strong team of teachers who lead that, and some real talented students. So it's a wonderful opportunity to see all this talent that we have and have them have a lot of ways that they can demonstrate that talent.
Yeah, because, the one thing about it was an amazing statistics for me, especially when I went through Miller Ambassadors, which, by the way, I think is one of the great kind of organizations that you have here at Noblesville Schools, giving people in the community an opportunity to come and go inside the schools and see the heartbeat of our schools.
Yeah, each each graduating class that we have from the Miller Ambassadors, they get a really deep understanding of the behind the scenes, all the things that make a school district operate, and they are real advocates for us after they graduate. So it's a really good thing. We love it.
Well, let's talk a little bit about, because we've already had one event, but this is a big year for Noblesville. Not that every year is not a big year for Noblesville, but we're celebrating a 150-year anniversary.
Yes. It's wonderful to have that kind of history and all of the celebrations. We're going to be spending the entire year celebrating that. So if you go to our website at noblesvilleschools.org/150, you can see all the exciting things that are going on. I also want to invite everyone to the administration building on River Road. We've got some artifacts that people have donated just to let us showcase from the 150 years. And it's really nice to start collecting all of those things and seeing all of the history that goes into this great school district.
Oh, absolutely. And as many people know, because they've watched it on Hamilton County TV this week, and I looked yesterday, and it's been shared by about 20, 30 people. So it's really getting around. The numbers are really gaining. When Marty Cook and I did a show the other day.
Yes.
And Marty did such a great job and very passionate about this 150 years. This is a big celebration. You kicked it off with a back-to-school bash. We got homecoming coming up here.
Yes.
Exciting time.
It is. It's really exciting. And we're really encouraging people, graduates, to do that GeoMap so that on the website so that we can track all of our graduates over the 150 years. It's pretty cool.
Now, I think another thing, too, that's great is the 25 Miller Nobles that you're going to
Yes.
honor.
Yeah, applications are coming in, so we really want people to nominate a Noble Miller because there's so many great people who have made valuable contributions to our school district, and we want to be able to honor them in that 25 Noble Millers. So we're really excited about that.
Yeah, the one thing, one of the things that you have to remember, though, it has to be a living member for that 25 Miller Nobles. But it doesn't have to necessarily be a person that graduated from Noblesville High School. It can be a person that contributed greatly to Noblesville schools and time. And there's a lot of people out there that have done that over the 150 years.
In our community, we have so many people who have dedicated tremendous amounts of time and energy to our school district, and that's what makes it so good. So we're really honored to have all of those people, and we want to make sure that they're recognized.
And the one thing about it, this 150 years, and I think I've lived here, I've left, I've come back. Homecoming at Noblesville, especially for a 6A school, is a pretty big deal. Now, you've been to other school systems, the big school systems like the Southeastern Fishers. Homecoming is still a very old-fashioned way of doing it.
Yeah.
And it's pretty exciting. There's not too many parades that still go on in 6A.
I don't think anyone does homecoming better than Noblesville
You're
schools.
right.
That's
You're
for
so
sure.
right. You still have homecoming dances, the parade.
The parade is wonderful. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
lots of
the
traditions.
People that line up to watch that. I mean, it ranks right up there with the 4th of July and the Christmas parade
It certainly
here in
does.
this community. So it's a wonderful time. Talk a little bit. You got school started here. How many weeks you been in?
Yeah, we've been in 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Yeah.
And,
it's been
you got your roundabout done down at the high school.
They got it done on time.
You were shaking a little bit about that. You were thinking I'm sure Dr. Mundy had a plan B, though.
Oh, absolutely. But they promised us it'd be open, and boy, they kept their promise. So we were thrilled about that.
Well, it's wonderful. I appreciate you coming by and talk us a little bit. If there's anything we can do at Hamilton County TV to help promote this 150 years of Miller schools and to promote Noblesville schools, because there's nothing better.
Thank you so much, Perry. We always know that we've got your support, and we appreciate it greatly.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank
Dr.
you.
Beth Miller.
When medical care is needed, where will you turn? With Community's Connect to Care program, one call or click finds you the closest open appointment. Request a time yourself, or let us do it. From a primary care doctor or virtual visit, to a med check or community clinic at Walgreens. Just call or click. You can go right to our website or to me. Connect to Care from Community.
Superheroes come in all shapes and sizes. They don't always meet in an underground fortress. Sometimes they meet in places that appear to be very ordinary to most people. But inside, there are heroes in training. Some are smart, strong, or brave. Maybe they can build cities or heal people when they get hurt. But even superheroes need some help sometimes. With your support, we can change the world. Together, we are a force that can't be defeated. Support the club. Save the world. Support your local superheroes and donate now to the Boys and Girls Club of Noblesville at bgcni.org.
Hey Deb, why do they call us Logan Street Signs and Banners?
Because we started off at Logan Street.
But we're on South 10th Street.
We moved 22 years ago.
Why didn't we change the name?
That would have just confused everybody and they wouldn't be able to find us.
Now I'm really confused.
Bill, we're Logan Street Signs and Banners, conveniently not located on Logan Street, but on South 10th Street in Noblesville. Can I help you?
Yeah. I'm looking for Logan Street Signs and Banners.
You found us.
But this ain't Logan Street.
We moved 22 years ago.
You're telling me that Logan Street Signs and Banners isn't on Logan Street anymore?
Exactly.
So what are you saying?
Logan Street Signs and Banners, conveniently not located on Logan Street, but on South 10th Street in Noblesville, Indiana.
Can I help you?
Yeah, I'd like to order a hamburger, fries, salt, maybe a large vanilla shake.
This is a trophy shop, can't you tell?
You got carry out?
Everything that you need, we have here at the shop. Very unique. You order today, carry out tonight. That's our version of carry out.
All right, I'll take one of everything.
Oh, that may take a little longer. We'll have it for you tomorrow night.
I'll be back tomorrow to pick it up.
We'll be waiting for you.
Jerry Baker and Perry Williams back now at Noblesville High School with the halftime score, Cathedral 34 and the Noblesville Millers 7. Teams just getting back out on the field. Let's take a look at some first half numbers. First off, for the Noblesville Millers, they didn't get much on the ground. In fact, let's take a look at the total. They had 40 yards through the air, 12 yards through the air, 40 yards on the ground, a total offense of 52 yards in the first half. The Irish, on the other hand, 213 yards rushing, 223 passing for a total offense of 436. For Noblesville individually, nobody has much to write home about. Butler with 18 yards net, Barrett with 15, Zavak, the quarterback, with a net of 7 yards. The Irish, on the other hand, Dalen Hall, leading rusher, 9 carries, a net of 184 yards. Receiving, Camden Jordan, 2 catches for 108. Orrin Edwards, the quarterback, with 10 of 12 for 223 yards and a couple of touchdowns. And the punting, Perry, as you look at, that's the highlight of the first half for the Noblesville Millers. Graydon Addison, you and I have been talking about how good he's been in the first half. 5 punts, 275 yards, an average of 55 yards per punt, with a long of 69, 2 of those inside the 20-yard line and 1 touchback. He's been the highlight film.
Oh, absolutely. And, the one thing about it is it kind of shows here that, those 33 but I understand it's the first game of the season, okay? But, when you lose 33 seniors on a football team, especially with over half of them 3-year starters, it's a lot to do. There's a lot to get accomplished, especially when you're changing an offense, right. Okay? So, and those stats this first half shows it. I mean, it truly does.
Well, you and I chatted earlier at the outset of the telecast tonight. Noblesville's roster of roughly, let's say, 90 players has 35 sophomores on there. 5 of the others are freshmen. So and when I talked with the head coach prior to the game, he said, "Man, it just is what it is."
Yeah, I mean,
you've got youngsters, they're learning, and they're learning a new offense, and they're learning an offense that is not easy to run.
It's all timing.
Everything is timing. They've run it down at Center Grove for a century, and Eric Moore has done a terrific job. When you come into that program, now here's the difference. They're running it through the program in the grades, too. So they're learning on the fly, if you will. And at this particular point in time, the coaching staff's not had time to get that thing assimilated yet. Here's an interesting statistic, though, on the first half, Barry, and I was a little shocked at this. The possession time. Millers have had the ball for 15 minutes and 20 seconds, and the Irish 8 minutes and 40 seconds. That doesn't add up.
I mean, if you would look at that in a normal football game, it wouldn't be like that.
No, not at all.
I mean, you'd say the Millers were ahead.
And that's it.
Or it was a close game.
Yeah, it's really kind of a strange stat in the first half. And the reason it's so weird is the first, the first possession for Noblesville, they ran 6 plays. But the second, third, fourth, and fifth possession, there were like 3 and out. So I don't know how they're doing it like that possession time, which is irrelevant, by the way, when you consider that Noblesville had to punt the football the first 5 times they had it. And the 1 touchdown that they got came with 1:36 to go in the first half with a run from Butler from 1 yard out. And that was a drive that started on the 23-yard line of Cathedral, and they had trouble getting the ball in from 23 yards out.
Absolutely. And like when I talked to Justin Roden this week, same thing here, big plays. He said we cannot give up the big plays. And big plays have been a big part of Cathedral's scoring attack so far.
One of the biggest was that 87-yard run by Jordan with 10:48 to go in the first half. on the first play from scrimmage, who went 87 yards, and that was a backbreaker. But the other issue was the last touchdown, which came with 29 and a half seconds to go. You pointed out, and you were right on mark, they couldn't let that happen, and they did. They gave up a 72-yard touchdown run by Hall.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Looks like we're getting ready to kick off here this second half.
The Irish will get the football to begin the second half of play. Now check it. Noblesville got the football to begin the game, but they're going to get the ball to begin the second half. A fumble on the kickoff at the 25-yard line, so the Millers will get it to begin the second half of play on their own 25. They've had decent field position. They started one drive from the 35, one from the 48. They've had one from the 33. And this time they will start at their own 25-yard line. And the problem, Perry, that you and I have sort of pointed out with trying to be as kind as we can be, they just simply can't run the football right now. And that goes down with the numbers I just gave you. Their total on the ground, 40 yards and 12 yards passing, a grand total of 52 yards total offense.
Absolutely. You're so correct there, Jerry. And hopefully, I don't know what kind of adjustments you make because it's all timing. So we'll see what happens here in the second half.
Well, this time they'll keep it on the ground once again. They use Elijah Butler, number 22, as their main running back. Zabak will keep the ball on a number of occasions. It's an option situation where you dive to the left or dive to the right. You've got to make a decision that instantaneously, and this time they get nothing on the first play.
But the one thing about it, Cathedral is getting so good a pursuit.
Oh, yeah.
They're dancing in the Noblesville backfield, and those timing plays can't happen that quick.
No.
So you got to get some blocking up front.
No gain, second down and 10. And they'll try to keep the football, get it out across the 30 to about the 31.
That was just some tiptoeing through there by Zabak. Not a bad run. I mean, but picked up a few yards there.
Got about a half a dozen on that play and mark it down at the 31-yard line. So it'll be third down and 3. So they spotted at the 32 officially, so a gain of 7 on play. What Noblesville really needs right now, Perry, is a long drive to just eat up more of that clock.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they got to do. They got to eat this clock up. They can't. Oh, nothing there.
Just
the
nothing.
Pursuit. See, same thing right there. Pursuit.
Shiloh Means, terrific football player, comes in to make that stop. He led the Irish last year with 100 tackles, including 67 solo tackles. He is uncommitted, by the way, has a top 4 list. He's looking at Air Force, Miami of Ohio, Penn, and Yale. So far has not made any announcement. So it's a very quick 3 and out. And here is the punt. And this has been the highlight of the game, the punting situation from Graydon Addison.
Out of bounds. Out of bounds there.
That's the 6th time out of 7 possessions now that Noblesville's had to punt the football. Went out of bounds at around the 40-yard line. Chain gang just now getting in position. They're going to spot it right at the 40. So the Irish will get the football, and believe it or not, this is their best starting position of the entire game. First down and 10. Oren Edwards at quarterback. Running back is Dalen Hall. He's had a good ball game. He's backed up by Jake Langdon. Hall with 3 touchdowns so far in the game, a 7-yarder, a 45-yarder, and a 72-yarder. Gain of 3. Second down and 7. Back to throw. Got a receiver. And it is incomplete. David Perry, one of the guys in the area that time. So it'll be 3rd down and 7. Just a perfect night for football.
Oh,
Perry.
absolutely.
I mean, this is, for the first couple of games of the season, you really are worried about the heat and humidity getting to you, but not tonight. In fact, it's a little chilly up here.
I mean, there's a lot of people in the stands here got sweatshirts on.
Absolutely. So. 3rd down and 7 now for the Irish. Found their own 43. Back to throw on 3rd down. Got a receiver over the middle. It is caught.
Caught by Thomas.
Jordan Thomas makes the reception across the 50-yard line.
Edwards hung in there. He got a hard hit right there, right before he let go of the ball. So.
Ball was spotted across midfield at the 43-yard line on a 1st down attempt with 8:45 to go now. This 3rd quarter just getting underway. That's Langdon, the ball carrier this time for the Irish. And he'll move it across the 35 down to around the 34-yard line.
Once again, Jerry, as they did the first half, they go on that right side with Cotton. And
that's where Tex Elliott's located.
Tex Elliott is, and, those are 2 outstanding linemen.
We've talked about Tex Elliott. Keep an eye on him, 79, 6'5", 280. And a senior. Well, they got the 1st down that time, by the way, so it's 1st down and 10 now at the 33-yard line. Gain of 10 on that play.
Pass out in the flats there.
And the receiver is Camden Jordan, number 4, and Jordan's going to move it down to around the 25-yard line. It's just too easy right now.
Absolutely, absolutely. Cody Leach on the tackle for the Millers over there, but still, again, a pickup of 9. So
they make it 2nd down and about a half a yard to go for the 1st down with 7:52 to go now in this 3rd quarter. Quarterback will keep it. Edwards will dive over the right side. He'll have plenty of room for the 1st down. And they will mark it down now inside the 20. Could be another penalty call. This time it's going to go against Cathedral. So that'll negate that run and move him back out to around the 30-yard line. So they had the 1st down with a couple of yards to spare. Now it's going to be a 2nd down and about 7 yards to go for the 1st down. Edwards firing over the middle, threw it behind his receiver. And it's probably a good thing it was behind him because that slant pattern had him, the receiver, wide open going into the end zone. There was nobody out there to cut him off.
The score from around the area: New Pal 56, Kokomo Wildcats 7. That's in the 3rd quarter with about 5 minutes left.
That pass intended for Camden Jordan, by the way, and as I pointed out, he had a wide open run to the end zone with the angle that he was working with. 3rd down and 7. Back to throw, coming near side, out on the flat, and it is incomplete. Pass intended that time for David Perry. So it's 4th down.
Cody Leach did a pretty good job over there defending that play to Perry.
Perry and Jordan in there at the receiver spots. As I mentioned, they'll be in there throughout most of the game. Jordan Thomas from time to time. J.P. Kacheski at the tight end spot, number 85. Out of the shotgun one more time on the 4th down. Here is Edwards rolling right side and throwing. And it is caught. And it's going to be good enough at the first down around the 20-yard line. What this does also, Barry, is if you're a Cathedral ball club right now, it just opens up your offense. Yet you're not fearful of anything. If anything goes wrong, well, so what? You're up 34-7. So you play with a kind of a reckless abandon.
Yeah, and it makes you a much better football team.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, because they are strong through the air and through on the ground. And on that right side, that defensive front of Noblesville has to be wearing down.
No, they got to be. Yeah.
Be.
In fact, that's one of the things we were talking about at halftime is the fact that they can't get off the field. They give them about 5 yards that time. It'll be a second down and 5. Clock continues to wind at 6:20 to go in the third quarter of this game. Here's the inside handoff again, inside the 5, down to around the 4, perhaps even closer than that to the end zone. Ball carrier Dalen Hall again.
Can we look at that again, Will, on that replay there? Oh, I'm okay.
Looks like they're going to spot it down at around the 2-yard line.
Once again, Jerry, they went to that right side for that big gaping hole there.
And Langdon in as the running back, sitting up behind Orrin Edwards now. See if he gets the handoff. Nope, he does get it.
Touchdown.
Yep, there's the signal. Langdon gets it 2 yards out.
Here's this replay here. Cuts out. Scores 40-7. 5:32 left to go here in the third quarter.
We're going to go for 2. And they will get it.
Yes.
With Jordan, the ball carrier.
But, it's like we talked. I mean, they need to work on that
Exactly.
part of their game. And, they missed one in a extra point in the first half. So, sometimes as a coach, Bill Peoples over there, even though it's a very lopsided score, you have to do those things. I mean, this is early in the season, and his team is growing. They got to get better.
Well, somewhere along the way, they're going to need a 2-point conversion. And this was an opportunity with no harm, no foul. If you don't make it, it's no big deal. You're still up substantially. So go ahead, and I got a feeling that both coaching staffs kind of understand this.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's part of the game.
So roughly a 12-play drive covering 60 yards. Langdon from 2 yards out makes it 42-7.
Jerry, a score here. I talked to Coach Jake Gilbert at Westfield, and he was very, very confident about his seniors and that offense he's got over there. And they're playing Harrison tonight, and they're up 49-28 late in the third quarter.
Just another team you have to deal with.
Yeah. And that's always a battle.
So here's the short kickoff taken at the 25-yard line, returned to about the 32. And it is from that particular point that Noblesville will get the football for the second time in the first half. The first time they had the football at their own 25, ran 3 plays, had to punt the ball away, and that is the 6th time they have punted during tonight's game.
Jerry, one of the great things that we get to do as sportscasters is we get to deal with a lot of great coaches here in Central Indiana.
Absolutely.
I mean, really. I mean, you talked about Eric Moore. I've talked about Jake Gilbert, and you got these two coaches here. I mean, you know, they're really, really helpful, and they want to do better for their programs.
So Noblesville starts at their own 33-yard line. And there may be a fumble, and
I think it was dead, but let's see. I think he was down. Here's a replay on it.
Noblesville will maintain possession of the football nonetheless.
Yeah, he was down, and it is popped out. He was on his back.
You know, along those same lines, one of the things that as broadcasters we have to do is impose upon their free time to get information, either chatting with them or have them give you depth charts and things like that. And they're very gracious in so doing. And believe me, we need that help.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So no loss of the play. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Shoo.
And this time there is a loss.
Another. It's just blowing up in there. I mean, they're just blowing them up.
I'm not real sure that Bill Peebles thought his offensive or defensive line was going to be that good this early. We talked about how they set it up. Cathedral uses 3 down linemen with 5 linebackers and then a couple of cornerbacks and a free safety. But they have they brought those linebackers up to almost make it like a 7-man defensive front. Now they're going to pass, and it is incomplete.
Well, you know, we talked about in that first half. I mean, take, for instance, 58, Sean Oldman at 230 pounds. But that guy can move now. I mean, he's not just a big block in there. I mean, he does a good job of penetration.
I just noticed something, and I want to point this out. You and I chatted about this at halftime. They're using a running clock right now.
Oh, okay. Yep.
That was an incomplete pass, and the clock did not stop, so they're using a running clock, which is all right in a 35-point ball game.
Yeah, it's a new rule here this season. That
another great punt by Addison. You know, he's gotten him out of jail about a half a dozen times now.
Absolutely.
I mentioned
and you know, when sometime during this season, when they get in a good close game, he's going to be a valuable part of that ball game.
He's averaging 55 yards per punt. So he keeps getting Noblesville out of jail, but they can't do anything about it. Offensively, and defensively, they can't stop the Irish. So this is the second possession of the second half for Cathedral. First time they had it, they went some 9 plays, make it like 11 plays, covered 60 yards, got a 2-yard touchdown run from Langdon. This time they start this drive on the 23-yard line.
In a situation like this, in the situation with Noblesville being down, I mean, that coaching staff has really got to continue to work to try to improve. And in the Cathedral case, they got to do some of the things that they need to do that they're going to see down the line.
Good point.
But they also got to keep everyone healthy. So they have to be very careful of those type things.
That's always an issue, trying to keep healthy bodies out there.
Because nothing's worse than you having a big lead and you get one of your key players hurt.
The other thing they're going to work on, Perry, and this will happen on both sides of the football, both Noblesville and Cathedral, are the penalty situation. There's just way too many tonight.
Yeah. Even for a first football game.
Yeah. So the clock continues to run. It's inside 35 seconds right now, with Cathedral up by 35, 42-7. When it hits 35, you can have the running clock, and that's where we are right now. That may well be the final play of the third quarter. Irish in no hurry to get back to the huddle. In fact, they head to the sideline. So we have gone through 3, and the Irish, with their second possession of the second half, they've scored on their first possession from 2 yards out with Langdon getting the touchdown, and they lead it by a score of 42-7.
Absolutely. Let's thank one of our sponsors. Celebrating over 27 years, Logan Street Signs and Banners specialize in that last-minute signage and banners, serving Noblesville and Hamilton County since 1992. You can contact them at 317-773-7200.
Well, I didn't expect it to get quite this lopsided, to be honest with you, Perry. We kind of anticipated the Irish were going to have the upper hand in this football game, but you really didn't anticipate what's happened.
No, I don't think so. And once again, just like we talked, and Justin Roden said earlier, the big plays have absolutely killed them. I mean, big plays. But the one thing about it, you can see out there, Noblesville coaches are still coaching their players. Cathedral coaches are coaching their players. The battle up there in Tippecanoe right now, West Lafayette 36, Lafayette Jeff 33. That's always the good one.
That's
a dog
fight. That's what you expected from those two.
Oh, yeah.
So here we go now in the fourth quarter of this game. And a 42-7 football game right now with the Irish totally in command. Through three quarters, Dalen Hall for the Irish. 9 carries, 184 yards net. Passing, Orrin Edwards is 13 of 18, 256 yards, a couple of touchdowns, one long pass reception of 87 yards. Camden Jordan has caught 3 passes for 117 yards. For Noblesville, their leading rusher is Elijah Butler with a net of 18 yards. Zavak, the quarterback, with 13, and Barrett with a total of 12.
Another no surprise tonight in high school football. Warren Central 14, Center Grove 14.
Ooh.
They're in the fourth quarter. That's kind of the game we thought it'd be.
Absolutely.
There's, in a situation, Warren Central, with that great team last year, it's just, you're not rebuilding, you're reloading.
And of course, Center Grove getting set to play New Palestine next week. Won't that be a
that'll
shootout?
Be a great shootout.
So the clock continues to wind down. 10.5 minutes to go now in the fourth quarter. A 42-7 football game with the Irish up Cathedral out in front. And the total offense for the Irish now is 512 yards. And the Millers' total offense is 55. They have 12 yards passing and 43 yards rushing.
Big defense. Tolliver on the big sack there. Looks like Coach Peoples is doing some platooning here.
Well, it's fourth down, so he's got his punting unit out on the field right now. Jaden Barrett is the lone deep man now.
But this is the first punt of the night, right?
Yes, this is the first time they've had to punt it away. They've turned it over a couple of times, but this is their first punt of the football game. Ball is down at the 43. And the clock continues to move.
Well, Jerry, there's one stat that the Millers are winning, and that's the punting game.
They are winning that. Although I will say this, that that last punt brought
his average down.
Brought his average down to 50.3.
Yeah.
What a terrific night this young man has had. Braden Addison, we're talking about 7 punts, 352 yards, an average of 50.3 with a long of 69. He's really been the highlight film for the Millers in tonight's game with 8.5 minutes to go. And the pitch on the deep side. And a gain of about 5 or 6 yards. And that's the way that offense is supposed to operate. You kind of dig in the let the linebackers come at you, then at the last minute pitch it out. That time was probably one of the best moves they've made. They got a 5-yard gain down to the 45. Inside 8 minutes to play in tonight's game. And the keeper by the quarterback. And a gain of maybe 3 more yards down to around the 41, 42-yard line.
That kind of shows you how the discipline that Cathedral defense is, okay? I mean, it was a very good fake that Zavac made right there, but the defense stayed home.
Stayed right on it, yeah.
Stayed where they're supposed to play, and they didn't get much yardage, so.
For Noblesville, number 17, Jaden Barrett. The deep back now on this I formation. Barrett gets the pitch back, comes to the near side, angles across the 40, down around the 35. Across the 35 and knocked out of bounds just outside the 30-yard line. Inside 7 minutes remaining in tonight's game. They've marked the ball down at the 31-yard line. Cam Knight over the ball at center. He's been the guy that's been in there the entire game. Now they set up tight end. Tight to the right side of the offensive line. And keeping the football is Zavac. Bears repeating. We talked about this earlier, Perry. This is the first year that Zavac is quarterback this ball club. In fact, it was funny because when I talked to the coach, Justin Roden, he said I had to go recruit him.
He did. Justin and I have talked about that. You know, right now.
And when I say that legally, he recruited him off the baseball squad.
Yeah. But right now, this Noblesville offense on timing looks about as good as it's looked all game.
I could not agree more. Nowhere this time as they're stacked up right in the middle. The problem, Perry, has been inside the tackles offensively. They've done nothing tonight, but they've not been able to really get outside the tackles.
Yeah, because of the pursuit of that defense of Cathedral.
You know, I mentioned that Cathedral runs with 3 down linemen and 5 linebackers, but at the same time, those linebackers come up and fill the hole. And the other issue is that when you're ahead by 35 points, you're able to do things that you maybe under pressure might not normally do. Here's the pitch on the left side to Barrett again, and he'll be lucky to get back to the line. We're heading toward the 5-minute mark here in the fourth quarter. We've been playing for quite some time now with a running clock. Something new this year in high school football in the state of Indiana. Once you're down by 35, they can start the running clock. And that's what we have seen into tonight's game.
Now, the Irish have several new players, on defense here, but, still pretty good size up front.
Four and a half to go. Pass over the middle is incomplete.
Flags everywhere.
And a flag come in late from the deep secondary. I have no idea what that's all about.
Yeah, I'm not sure on that. I think it's pass interference.
Well, I don't know. I didn't see anything down there. There were about 4 or 5 white jerseys in the area. The only thing I could figure was pass interference, but it didn't look like the receiver was anywhere near the other white jerseyed guys out there. Well, these officials have spent a lot of time chatting together tonight.
And the clock continues to tick.
Yeah, it does, even while they're talking.
And they've been quite chatty tonight.
They have been chatty. They have spent a lot of time together tonight. It is
pass interference.
Pass interference. That's the only thing I could figure that it was going to be. And that'll be 15 yards if they ever get to play again before the clock runs out. It's down to 3 minutes and 5 seconds right now.
Yeah. Miller's breaking the huddle whether the referees are ready or not.
I'm going to say they didn't mark the penalty off yet. Now we're ready to go. Now we're going to move them down 15 yards. That'll take it inside the 20. I'm not sure whether they're going to officially spot it down just outside the 15, about the 16-yard line. Should be on the 17, and that's what the scoreboard says. So with 2:40 to go now in the ball game, it'll be a first down and 10 for the 17.
Touch. Oh!
What a great throw and a nearly spectacular catch.
Oh, my goodness. Let's look at that again. Zavak, good throw. I don't know. It looked like he had the ball. Surprisingly, Zavak's throwed the ball pretty well tonight.
Yeah.
I mean, for his first time to be a quarterback, hadn't played football for a couple years. That's what you call a true athlete.
He's also had to throw it in situations where they know he's going to throw the football, so they've really backed up on him defensively. Yeah. Clock continues to run. We'll try it again.
I think he got it
this time. Is that Barrett? It's hard to see from our vantage point up here. It's
nine
is Carson Sanders. So Sanders gets the touchdown.
Carson Sanders in the ball game. He's been playing defense all night. He starts at defense
and the point after is good. So the clock is stopped with 56.8 to play.
(42-14) with 14 seconds left. Let's thank another one of our sponsors here. We're almost finished here tonight. Church, Hidlin, Antrim, attorneys at law. Since the establishment of Church, Hidlin, Antrim in 1880, our neighbors, our community leaders, businesses, and school districts have placed their trust in us to solve their most challenging legal issues. We have a rich history in helping our clients when they need it the most. Give us a call at 317-773-2190.
This is part of that running clock thing that I'm not sure they ever really explained. It's now a non-running clock game.
Yeah.
With the lead.
And I didn't know that.
I'm not. Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm not sure they ever totally explained that.
Yeah.
Once you start it, do you keep it going? It's 42.
So this could be an
14.
interesting year of trying that.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, I understand.
Because like you said, 35 points is not a whole lot of points.
It's I mean, you're saying
it's going to happen a lot, but
well, let's see what happens here now. Less than a minute to play in the football game. Kickoff is muffed into the end zone, so it'll come back out to the 20-yard line. The Irish will have the football. They have scored once here in the second half of this game. A Langdon 2-yard rush with 5.5 to go on the third to make it 42-7.
Now it's running, Jerry. So.
Well, there you go.
I guess we're going to have to get some clarity before the next time.
I'm going to have to look at the. Yeah, I wasn't sure. Okay, do we stop it now because it's inside 35?
Yeah.
Well, apparently not.
Yeah.
So the Irish probably won't even go to the line of scrimmage because the play clock has not even started yet, and the game clock is down to 15 seconds to go. So there you go.
Yeah.
And the final is going to be 42-14.
That's it.
And it's official, nothing but goose eggs on the scoreboard. So the Millers go to 0-1. The Irish go to 1-0. Noblesville takes to the road next week. Perry talked about this earlier. And
they travel to Carmel.
Oh, man.
Who many say is the best team in the state of Indiana.
Well, when I talked to Justin Roden, the head coach, is in his second year now with the Noblesville Millers, one of the things we chatted about was the fact that the schedule just is.
It's not in his favor. I mean,
it's not.
Let's face it.
They got Carmel next week at Carmel. And then they come home on the 6th of September against Fisher's Ball Club,
which we thought. We knew they were going to be better because Rick Wimmer's a great football coach.
Right.
But we also thought that North Central, this may be the year. I mean, they were 9-2 last year, something like that.
Something like that. And you had them down by a sizable margin.
They lost. Yeah, because that was the fourth quarter. Because that's that Lucas Oil game that played at 6 o'clock.
So North Central got beat in the opening game.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. So then they get Fisher's Ball Club is playing well. Is what you're saying. Then you come back home again, and you got Westfield. I don't care what the records are. That's always going to be a great game.
Well, it's a rivalry game.
Exactly.
I mean, that's probably Noblesville's big rivalry right now.
All right, let's look at Cathedral for just a moment. I mentioned the fact that the head coach, Bill Peebles, said the schedule was tougher than normal. And part of that's because, as you pointed out, they don't play in a conference, so they have to go find games. Their next two games are on the road at Cincinnati Moeller, but they're playing at St. Xavier, by the way. Then they go to Cincinnati Elder. Then they come home and play a 3A Power in Chittard. Then they hit the road again for Cincinnati. They ought to get frequent flyer miles or something. They play at Cincinnati St. Xavier, which is always a power.
Absolutely.
Then they maybe get a little bit of a break. They got Jeffersonville. Don't know much about them. And then they've got Louisville Trinity. They're at Brebeuf. The Braves are always tough at home, even though they're a 3A ball club. Then they close out the season with Center Grove. And as Bill and I were talking, and Justin Roden and I were talking, there are no free lunches anymore in high school football. All right, so let's wrap things up, Perry. Your thoughts on tonight's football game? I mean, what what
can we say? I mean, you know, Justin's got some work to do, and he knows that. The difficult thing for him is to get these kids, make sure first they're healthy, okay, and then rise to the occasion and go over and play Carmel and give them a good football game.
Well, what you got to hope is everybody shows up for practice tomorrow. And one of the first things I'm sure he will do, or he may be, in fact, he's meeting with them right now. He's meeting with the team out on the field right now. He will meet with them again tomorrow, and it will not be so much a physical situation as it will a mental situation. Guys, here's what happened. You just lost to a really good football team. Here are the mistakes you made. Here are the corrections we need to make. And then we all go back to work again on Monday and try to rectify the situation.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Jerry, it's been a real pleasure working with you today, and I look forward to the Fishers game. I guess that's what we got next.
That's what we got next, yeah. We'll have a lot of fun doing that. All right, final score again tonight, 42-14. The Irish of Cathedral over Noblesville. Thank you for joining us tonight. We'll see you again in a couple of weeks when the Noblesville Millers take on Fishers Tigers right here at Noblesville High School.